Hi.
Hello, Hot Vibes, and welcome back to our recap of Revamp The Undead Story, Episode 10, the finale.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Holy, that sums it up right there.
Oh, yeah, honestly, it does.
It sums up the whole show, honestly.
Yes, it does.
It was so good.
This was such a good show. Such a good show.
It's phenomenal, honestly. Thank you so much for advocating for this, because I was like, I watched the trailer and I wasn't sure. Thank you.
I was like, listen, it's a Boone from series. We haven't seen him in so long. Boone wrote this show originally, just so we could play a vampire.
Yep.
And it's so good.
That was one of the things that got me, because you were like, hold on, wait, Boone wrote it. And I was like, wait, Boone wrote it? And you were like, yeah, Boone wrote it. And I was like, okay, because I support him, I shall check it out. And after episode 1, I was like, okay, fuck, you're right. This is really fucking good. This is so good.
Yeah, I honestly, Boone needs to write more stuff.
Please write more stuff.
Because it's great. It was so good.
It's so good. You did so well. If he ever listens to this, dude, you are so good. This is amazing. More like this, please.
Yeah.
Bridgerton style. Every couple has a season.
It was so good. And honestly, I said this in our reaction, because we did a dual reaction.
We did, yes.
This is one of the best written BLs I think I've seen in a long time, if ever. Like, yeah. This fully had the whole story from beginning to end, and it kept us on our toes till the very end.
Yeah, like, it did.
They didn't wrap it up in episode 8 or 9 and then left like another few episodes of just like, oh, what do we do now? You know, running with our heads cut off, like other shows have.
Other shows have, like, I feel like they ran out of story and they were like, shoot, we solved it too early, what now? And then it was just fluff. But this had the perfect pacing.
Yes, helped. And I'm gonna say something. I'm not sure if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it.
I
don't know if it's a hot take per se.
Oh God, you gonna say it?
But I'm gonna say it. I don't know if it's a hot take, but it's more like, I feel like things that, I don't know if other people think, maybe I'm the only one. Who knows? I'll just
whatever Billy says, don't kill me.
Well, I don't know, maybe you'll agree. Maybe you'll agree.
It's his fault.
You know? Okay. I've noticed that I feel like some shows, some BLs, have started writing shows and then aren't really trying to finish it up or tie it up in a good, neat little bow way by the end of the show. And so they kind of bank on, okay, let's just not worry about a complex, interesting story and just have two hot dudes making out and doing fluffy, cute shit, because that's all BL fans can really understand. And it kind of feels like it's calling us stupid for not being able to interpret and appreciate a good, well-written story.
I see your take. And I want to say I half agree with you, because I know that some stories, like, I'm going to use The Next Prince as an example. Okay. I feel like a lot of thought was put into the lore and the story as a whole, of just like the families, the situation. I feel like a lot was put into it. It's just the fact that they didn't put in enough, I feel like, I don't know if it's energy, time, what have you. They did it. I feel like they should have. Maybe they didn't finish writing it before the show aired. Maybe they were still writing the ending as the show came out. But I feel like they should have put more time into figuring out a good ending. Because as we saw in this show, there are a multitude of characters, and there are only 2, I think, possible ships, but there's a multitude of characters. And each one of them, what I noticed so much, each one of their stories ended the way they should have ended. Every single person's story had a good ending for their character. And I feel like The Next Prince, which I don't want to use that as like an exact example of this, but like it's the one that's coming to me because it's the last one we watched. A lot of the characters didn't have solid endings that meant something to their character, that worked well with the way their character progressed.
Yeah. And my whole hot take, I guess, is that when it came to The Next Prince, because I was mainly specifically talking about The Next Prince and Kidnap I'll get into later, but like with The Next Prince specifically, is they had a story, and they had too many episodes. I feel like had they cut down a lot of the stuff, it would have been a lot better. because like the last episode showed like 5 minutes of the fencing thing, and
Yeah.
then Ramil's whole arc with Peitai and his dad was great.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it's like it was kind of just boring. Of like, oh,
Yeah.
more cute stuff that we've seen for like a good 80-75% of the show. Like it just didn't feel like earned or appreciated that much
Mm.
in my eyes. So I feel like the next Prince suffers from being too long or ending the story too soon. Like the whole arc with like, oh,
Yes.
who's like this big villain ended in episode 12 and there were still 2 episodes after that, and it's like they
Yeah.
needed something else to follow through, and we were like, oh, maybe it's the dad, he's actually secretly the
We
villain,
were doing
or there was
so
a
much
twist,
guessing.
because we wanted there to be something more and it just
Yeah.
wasn't.
And there wasn't. We were looking for something that wasn't there.
Yeah, and then with Kidnap specifically, I feel like my whole thing is basically based off Kidnap. Of they couldn't really write a interesting story, and so they kind of try to stuff it with as much cute fluffy shit as they could to try to like please the BL fans, because in my eyes it almost feels like they're calling us stupid for not being able to understand an interesting story.
Yeah.
Which I don't like nor appreciate, because this show was Revamp was very interesting, had
Very
great story, and we loved it. It was
We loved
great.
it. Yeah.
And I feel like certain BL suffer from that. And it's a different story if you're going for a pure fluffy BL show.
Yeah, but tell us you're doing that.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to make it
Yeah.
fluffy. Like your Sky is a great example of that.
Exactly.
There wasn't a lot of high stakes story in that, but it wasn't meant to be. And so it's like, you know what, fine, we're here for the fluff, we're here for the cute shit, we're here for the ride.
We went in knowing
great.
it was fluffy, and we actually really liked it because we knew what we were getting into.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was where Kidnap suffered, and I think you're right on the money with The Next Prince, because you said that it suffered from being too short, but also it suffered from the fact that each character didn't have a long enough time for them to develop, which I was going to actually counteract with, but then you said that, I was like, exactly, because I said it either suffers from being too short or too long. Like too long was what you said originally. And then I was like, too short as well, because like if you make it shorter, it makes it much more like you cut out the extra fluff at the end, and I feel like the story makes sense. Or at the very least, doesn't go into things that we don't even need to watch. Like, oh, like we've already seen the story, we don't need extra shit. And not long enough in the fact that if they had more episodes, they maybe could have had more time to work on each character individually, and their characters would have gone to a place in their storyline that would have made sense for them. Instead, it suffered from having too many characters in too short a time, or too long episodes with too many characters to focus on.
It's especially in a show like Next Prince, where it has a lot of characters, and it only focused mainly, like 95% of the show was focused on, I'm trying to remember their names, the characters' names. Kanin,
yeah.
Kanin and Sharon. Kanin and Sharon. Yeah. It focused so much on them, which they're the main characters, they're the main
Fair enough,
makes sense. But don't stack the show with all these interesting characters and storylines if you're not gonna give them the time of day.
Exactly.
Because they didn't. Like, Jay and Calvin were very underutilized. Ava and Mira, very underutilized. Like, there was so much like, Ramil and Peitai, I feel it was also underutilized, but also not as much as the other two couples.
With Ava and was her name Maria? Mira, thank you. Mira. With Ava, and I forgot her name as well. See, with Ava and Mira, they were underutilized so much that I'm still not sure if they were even a couple. Like,
and that's
that says something. If it shows in the trailer that they're supposed to be a couple and then they're not, it just confuses me. And I feel like you could have done a lot more if you had less characters or more time. And this had less episodes than the usual BL. It had 10 episodes. And I feel like the amount of characters in it wasn't as similar to The Next Prince, but there was still a good amount of characters to focus on. And every single one of them, we got to know their character. They had good character development throughout, and the endings made sense for each one. So it wasn't too focused on any one character. Yes, we had our main couple, and most of it was focused on them, but we still focused enough on the other characters where their development made sense and their story finished in a satisfying way.
Yes, I fully agree with that.
Damn, look at us being all intellectual and figuring.
Well, I remember at the end of the last episode, you were trying to go off on the thing, and I was like, wait, hang on, I want to finish this and then talk about it. This is what I want to talk about.
Yes.
The whole concept of
want to see how it finishes.
Like,
yeah.
And I get that some people, my whole hot take about whatever is some people like that. Some people just want a show where it's two guys making out or doing.
It's very much a thing in the BL community, as like a lot of shows are like that, and it's like a trope, I guess. It's a stereotype.
So yeah, but sometimes fans want that, and that is completely fine if you're one of those people who want that. That is great, good for you. You do that, but you can also tell a good, interesting story.
Yeah.
As well.
Because this had some good, like, sexy scenes in it. Like, it didn't have ones that were, like, they weren't as over the top as some of the Next Prince ones were. They weren't as revealing as some of the Next Prince ones were. But you could tell there was, like, a lot of emotion in them and love in them. And that, like, it was, I could still tell it was like, hey, these are smexy, you know? Like, I was...
Yeah.
They were attractive. Like, so, like, you could still have good story, good emotion, and these scenes. We don't need to, like, sacrifice one for the other.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's my little soapbox, I guess. So,
I like your soapbox. I agree with your soapbox completely.
Yeah. We also finally bought the necklace and the doll keychain.
Yes! Yeah, we both bought both.
Yes, we did.
Yay! I'm so excited. Oh my god.
Yeah. So hopefully that will come out relatively soon.
Here's hoping, yeah.
I did the express shipping, so hopefully it'll come out this week, hopefully. And I'll wear it for the after show.
I didn't do express shipping because I have no money. So,
fair.
They're all going to my Twice tickets. I think I'm barely gonna have enough to pay my credit card on time. I don't think I'll have enough, to be honest with you. And I still ordered DoorDash yesterday. But yeah, like the last 4 things I've ordered have been like between $60 and $80, like $60 and $100, and every single one of them I have had to do like monthly payments or pay every 2 weeks or afterpay or like things like that. So that I have money, you know. I made a boo boo. So when they came out, I was like, it said less than 10. I was like, looks like I'm adding another one to the list because like I can't let that slip.
I mean, the stock was like less than 10 with the necklace at least. I didn't check the doll, but the necklace specifically.
I didn't. I saw that and I was like, fucking already? Like you texted, like I didn't know when you checked it, like when it first came up between.
I literally checked before I left work and it wasn't there. Went to work and it's there.
My god. And there's already less than 10. That freaks me out. Like I was like, I did not know that people were talking about the show as much as they were, that there's less than 10 left. Either they stocked it a very small amount and they haven't gotten many in yet, or people bought that shit up fast.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people like talking about in my brain this show has been underrated. Has it not?
Well, Twitter, I know that the interactions, there's a thing that keeps popping up. It shows like the 4 top BL like interaction things. And it's always number 2 with like 1 point something million. Like 1.1 million, 1.2. Like yeah, there's that. I just went to my drama list. It's a 7.7 rating, which I'm like,
what?
I'm like, ooh, that's not. Who? But the top 2 reviews are a 10 and 8.5.
Period, as it should be. Okay, so like I'm gonna go in and fix that because I need to review. Where's my watch list? My watch list. We're gonna review it now, bro. I want to make sure. Oh, I haven't updated it since 5 out of 10 episodes finished.
Oh my god. I just write a comment in the thing. And so we watched behind the scenes as well, and we couldn't understand what they were saying. Someone just said something that says, apparently Mark, I think, says Revamp will be back, Methus will be back. So I think we're getting a season 2 with Werewolf and Vampire.
Oh, period. As we should. I'm so freaking excited. Oh my god, we're gonna get like probably cameos from like everyone, or they're gonna all be side couples for theirs. Oh my god. Yeah. Guys, if you are listening to this, please, Bridgerton style, couple every season. Like, please. I would so kill for that shit. I've rated it 10 for now, but I'm gonna go back just so that it says 10, but I'm gonna go back in and review the fuck out of this. Like with a whole paragraph and everything. Should. Because this deserves it. It was so freaking good.
Yeah, people are like fucking. Then again, I'm gonna stop reading the fucking comments here because I know that my drama list, the comments are like almost every show, and if you read the comments on my drama list, are just them shitting on whatever show they're talking about.
Yeah.
People have called it out for it being like, yeah, no, my drama list used to be a place to talk and communicate about it, and now it's just people just bash it. And I'm like,
Why?
I don't know. I'm just putting that away because I'm like,
That's
you know
so
what?
dumb.
That's pissing me off.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Especially since this show is like one of the best written BLs I've ever seen, if in a long time. I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah, it was so good.
It's so well done.
Yeah. Anyway, do we want to jump right into this?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm so down.
So, where I believe in Jet's mind.
Yeah, like it's like, oh. Yeah, this was the whole thing. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I guess it's him. It's like he's like soul jumped or something like that. He's jumped into Jet.
Right, yeah. So we see young Jet at the church and Father Dracul going over to him and he's like, hey, come pray in my room. And he's like, okay,
That
and he, eagerly goes.
The most sus fucking comment. Like,
it's so gross. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is so disgusting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love Ferratu. I don't even give a shit. But I will say, this scene was so uncomfortably gross.
Literally. Like, obviously, we know that he's bringing him to his prayer room to, like, literally bite into him and chew on him for a midnight snack. But, like, when he says, come pray in my room, I'm like, this sounds like someone is praying on a child. And you are, technically, but, like,
it is. That's the thing. It is. Like, it is literally that. Like,
it is literally that.
He full on, like, groomed this child.
Yeah.
And drank his blood.
And he had no idea until Elise was like, open your eyes. Open your eyes. And that's when it cracked through. Oh, gosh.
Well, we see, as he walks away, it's future, present Jet, who's like, don't do it, don't go. And Father Dracul gives him a look. He's like, oh, sorry, kid. And then we go in and we see Jet's trying to stop Father Dracul use his, like, mind power on him.
Yeah. So he has the mind power. So we were wondering if he fully did, but he does. Ferratu's got the mind power too.
Yeah, and he starts drinking his blood. And then Jet wakes up after eating the girl who the sister was there or whatever, with blood down his face, and Elise is in there and she's like, Jet?
It's like, Jet, what the fuck?
And she tries to run away, and we see that Dracul comes out of the room as Jet, and we don't know this at the time, but Jet has pretty much taken over.
No, Ferratu has.
Ferratu's taken over Jet's body.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I was like, here's the thing. I predicted that, but I predicted that it had been happening for a while. I thought that Ferratu, like, changed into Jet, or, like, inhabited Jet, or, like, was Jet this whole time, and has been steering everyone off the scent or some shit. But, like, he just did it now.
Yeah, you were eventually right.
I was eventually right. I will take that.
Then we're back at the family dinner, and Methus is complimenting Kiara's peeling of the onions and garlic.
Everyone's complimenting each other.
Yeah, Meccan's complimenting Pokpong for cutting the carrots, and then Elise calls Methus.
This scene was like, I could tell they were like, this comm is about to be disturbed. Like the way the soft piano was playing, and it was just so, like, lovely. It put me on edge. Like, I feared for life. Like, I was like, this is such a nice scene, but the way it's filmed and with what we know, it's very much calm before the storm, and they know you know that, and the way they're, like, utilizing it is really interesting. I love that they did that.
Yeah. And Method gets a call from Elise, and him and Meccan go to the hospital to check on her, and we see that she was attacked. She has a claw mark on her arm, and her 2 vampire fang holes in her neck and bleeding out.
We don't fully know how vampires are turned yet, do we?
No.
Because I was gonna say, what if she, like, is gonna turn or something like that, but I feel like Meccan healing her probably helped a lot, and they would know what turns a vampire, so I feel like they could have prevented that. But I also await season 2 because you never know what could fucking happen.
Right. And she's, like, slowly becoming unconscious, and she's like, Jet has a weapon that can stop Ramil from using his powers, and Methus takes Elise to Meccan, and back at the family dinner, Ramil gets a call from Methys where he explains that Meccan is healing her and she'll be safe.
Yes.
And warns them that Feratu has taken over Jet's body. So then Kiara's like, I got this. He uses his little like crow eye and finds out that he's heading towards the hunter lair. And he also does something to that crow that Kiara like freaks out. He's like, oh my god.
Bro. He like the fact like that was so unsettling. Him looking up, like he's like, ah, there you are. I know you're looking at me. I know you're watching me. It was like, oh fuck. Like that's like so scary.
It was intense. So then we see Jet / Feratu go into the base. The twins are knocked out, and he has the headband on.
Yes.
Which I actually liked that this came back. I wasn't sure if this would come back or not, because I thought it was just going to be Feratu getting up, being young again, and just, like, charging forward, and, like, maybe just kill Jet. But, like, the fact that they actually brought the headband back, I really like that.
And he probably knew of its existence, because he can access Jet's memories, if he's in there.
Right, yes.
So I do like that they brought that back, because we saw it for half a second.
It was such a small scene last episode.
It was such a small scene. And it very well could have, like, just never come back, and I wouldn't have batted an eye, but the fact that they did bring it back shows that they, like, that shows that it was part of the storyline, and that they plotted it out scene by scene. It shows really good writing.
It was so good. So then, Ramil and Pun are on their way to the car to go there, and Pun's like, wait, if you're going to enter Jet's mind, let me come with you. I'll be able to help him snap out of it, because, like, we know each other really well. And Ramil warns him, he's like, if we get separated, you won't be able to get out.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's okay. Just like family to me. And so they go in the car and they go.
We were really fucking worried. It also speaks to the fact that we weren't sure who was going to make it out alive. I feel like in other shows we're like, nothing's going to happen. He's fine. He's like, he's the main character. He's going to live. But in this show, for some reason, we were like, oh, I'm not actually fucking sure.
I was stressed.
I was very stressed.
I was fully stressed.
Which honestly compliments, because like that shows that I was invested in the story. Like don't like not make it stressful last time to save my feelings. I like the fact that I was stressed, because that means it was high stakes and it was interesting.
Yeah, and like going back twice about, you know, everything before, and like with Next Prince, it was like I never really, especially towards the end, I never worried about anyone's safety. Really, I was like, everyone's fine.
Like no one's fucking dying, bro. Like if anything, the king's dying because he's so sick. But like that's about it. Like I'm not worried about anyone.
And then he
dying.
does, but you know, but then don't even get me started on the king stuff.
Yeah, that's you. If you want to hear more about that, go watch our Next Prince recap.
Yeah, listen to that. I go off on the king like every episode, and especially at the end.
Yeah.
With Kanin. Oh, that pissed me off. That still pissed me off.
It's a journey, bro. It's a journey.
It was a very downhill journey. Anyway, then Ramil and Pun go meet with Jet, who's drinking some wine? ?
Maybe.
And he's like, "Oh, what? Aren't you gonna greet your little brother? It's been hundreds of years."
Oh.
And he's like, "Wow, you came here like almost like someone's gonna die. Is someone gonna die?"
Oh.
It's so fucked, but I love it. I don't care.
It's literally, he is so like psychotic, and you can tell. You can feel it. Even when it's Jet's actor playing Feratu in his mind. Like, it's like, you can feel that. You can see that, because he's so distinctly different.
Yes. And that's one of the things where I like, because I know last time you were only like, oh, you only like him because it's Dunk or whatever. I liked him when it was Dunk or Jet. I didn't care who the fuck it was. I just like this character, because he's so, like, he's a full-on psychopath, and I kind of love it.
I see that from this. I mean, in the last episode, I was just like, I haven't seen enough of him to be like, oh yeah, like, this is, I mean, you're definitely see your personality, but like, I'm not like Billy who's like, I just love you, because I'm like, it's because it's Dunk. But seeing this episode, I was like, no, you can like see everything.
Like, I just love a psycho character. I really do. Like,
you do. That's your red flag. If you had the red flags popping up like TikTok, it'd be love psychotic characters. Like for one of them.
Well, yeah, that's definitely one of my my toxic traits is liking toxic or not toxic, just psycho characters, really.
Psycho, you know? yeah. Loving psycho.
They're just so
characters.
Interesting. They're just so interesting.
Fair enough, honestly. I do see them as interesting, if anything.
Yeah. So then Feratu's like, well, you know, my body doesn't work anymore, so now I'm using this one. and he quickly goes to start choking out Pun. Pun's like, stop doing this to Jet, and he's like, I could, or would you rather have me use your body instead?
Oh god. Oh god.
And he's like, oh, don't you remember? I was the one who took care of all of you. Which, again,
So
very
fucked.
gross. Very gross.
Honestly, it's so fucked. Like, I like, before it was gross, and this sentence specifically feels fucked, because it's like, he took care of them for all these years, and now it's kind of like, the fact that he feels that he basically raised them is why he thinks, oh, you won't hurt me, because you can't just like kill your parental figure that raised you. It's going to be harder for you, isn't it? Like, I've ingrained myself in your past, and so it's going to be harder for you to actually shoot me, judging by that and by the fact I'm inhabiting your friend. So that's two whammies. You're not shooting me. There's no way. He's sure of it, and honestly, he has a reason to be. Because he's fucked with him for so long that there's no way he would.
Well, that, and also the fact that he's in his friend's body. Like,
yeah,
he is in his, so he knows he can't hurt him as well.
He knows he can't hurt him. He can't hurt him, and he's like, I raised you so you can't hurt me. You can't hurt either of us, so you are not going to shoot me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so it's Future Billy here, but just want to give a light trigger warning for the next few minutes. We talk a little bit about the Quiet on Set documentary and topics of grooming, and so if any of that is maybe disturbing to you, you can skip ahead a couple minutes. Okay, now it's back to the regular episode.
This is actually super off topic and like kind of similar, but also not in a weird real world way.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, so you watched Quiet on Set, right?
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, it took me a second to remember. That was a while ago.
Yeah, the guy who just did the stuff with Drake Bell. I'll probably cut this stuff out because this is like super like serious, but like that stuff.
It's important though. It is important.
Yeah. And do you remember the stuff where it talked about who like all the like big actors who like testified for this guy to be like innocent or whatever?
Yeah. It was like a gut punch hearing some of those.
Well, two of them were Ryder Strong and Will Fidel from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, I know. That killed me.
Well, I recently started listening to their podcast. It's those two and Danielle Fishel, and they're rewatching Boy Meets World.
I haven't started listening to it, but I know that they do it, and I do remember hearing that they apologize, I believe.
They had a whole episode talking about this.
Yeah.
And the whole thing we're talking about like ingraining someone into your past, where like I'm pretty sure all those guys who like testified for him, were also victims of grooming as well. Because he infiltrate, like it's like fucked up to hear, and like they were both like so like distraught, and it's like a weird, it's really fucked up. But like I was like listening to it, I'm like, oh my god, this is so messed up, where like a part of them still felt bad for the guy because in the past, especially when they were younger, he full on groomed them really, but like he made it so they were like they were his friend, like he was their friend. And it's like, if you hear something about your friend doing that, you're like, no way, there's no way that would happen. That's not even true. And like,
whether or not it made it past grooming is like irrelevant, because the fact that grooming was involved means that he ingratiated himself and made himself look like this person above you that like you have to like, you are my friend, you are my protector, I like you're someone very important to me and now I have to protect you, kind of thing. Like either way, he knew that he had these people on his side because he put so much time into grooming them.
Yeah, it was. So I was listening to that literally like this week, like 2 days ago or something, and it's like just talking about all of this and the whole like grooming like situation here, which you know obviously is very different because it's vampires. Yeah. But it was so like it's a like listening to that podcast episode specifically, I was like, oh my, this is like fucked up and like kind of like hard to listen to at certain moments. Yeah, but I'm like, it's so like.
It was hard to watch when I was watching Quiet on Set. It was like, this is like so difficult to watch, bro.
It's so. I would highly recommend just listen to that episode if you want to hear like, more of the story. It's very interesting to hear.
And to bring it back, we kind of touched, like, we were close to touching this kind of topic like a few episodes ago. Even was it the last episode or the episode before? It was last episode, because it was when Elise told Jet. She was, and a couple episodes before, I feel like we were like, why is nobody noticing that his name is Ferratu or Father Dracul or whatever? Like his father's name, he's Father Dracul. How did you not click that that's Dracula? It's because this man groomed him, basically. Like, he was like, I'm your father, I'm your guardian. And so it didn't click in his mind. It would never have clicked in his mind if it wasn't brought up by someone else, and the memories were brought up by someone else.
Well, the thing is, though, I don't think it wasn't just Jet. It was probably Pun and Elise, too, as well.
I'm sure, yeah. The fact that it was probably helped by the fact that they saw it happen, but those memories were kind of, like, blocked as they were growing up, so they didn't really question it. But the fact that it was Jet who was constantly being brought to the room to pray or whatever, and then his mind being erased every time he was bitten into, it probably didn't affect them, or they didn't think about it as much, or bury it as much as Jet would have. Those memories came flooding back the second she mentioned his name and saying, no, he's a vampire. And then he's like, oh, fuck, he's a vampire. Like, it didn't click because he was, like, mind controlled for one. But also, I don't think it would have clicked before that either, because he had been so focused on Jet. He's always the one that was brought to the back. He's always the one that was focused so heavily on. And
yeah, Jet was like the favorite child.
Yeah, he's the favorite child.
Like, he was the favorite child, so him specifically wouldn't clock that until it's brought to his attention. He's like, wait a minute, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
It honestly, it was probably, like, so crushing for him when he heard that. And he was about to, like, immediately kill him at the end of last episode, beginning of this.
He tried to.
He was going to. And I was like, fair. Like, the second he knows, like, and the second it clicks, I bet the pain would have been so massive that it's like, yeah, absolutely, I will kill you immediately. I will act irrationally and kill you immediately.
Yeah.
It's probably, like, in this episode, I was, like, this close to thinking, oh god, what if he never, like, wakes up? Because he was so stuck in that moment of pain from his past. Like, it was what he based his whole life on, was that moment from the past. And the fact that he was able to move on, and we'll talk about it later, is just, like, chef's kiss. Like, it was
a part of me thought he wouldn't.
A part of me thought he wouldn't. I was really worried. I was so worried. But, like, the fact that he did, like, really shows that, like, that's what means you really beat him. That's what that's what shows you're no longer connected to him, is the fact that you can move on from that moment.
Right.
This is so written so fucking well.
It's such a good show. Like, I swear to God, like, it's so interesting to watch and listen.
I love complex characters.
Anyway, then Ramil warns him to stop, and Ferrati reminds me, he's like, I warned you. If you didn't kill me, I'd be back to kill you. And now let me kill your heart.
Oh, no.
No. And I don't know if this was a BL or a regular show or whatever the fuck it was, but what show where they talk about a person being someone else's heart?
I swear to God, the second you said it just now, I thought that too. I was like, it's been in something.
I was gonna mention it in the reaction, but then stuff was happening, I forgot. But I'm like, what fucking show where it's like, oh, you're like, I'll go after you, like go after the heart, and it's like like someone's person because they're in love with them or something. I have no idea. Maybe it was a BL, but I'm like, what BL would do that?
I barely.
Maybe the Heart Killers, because that has intense stuff. Like, does the mom go after them, like the two guys or whatever?
What shows have we watched for the podcast? Let's deduce this.
Okay. Let's see. Oh god, my phone's like 27%.
Oh god.
It's fine. Let's see.
I have my list here. Let's see.
Okay. Oh no, that's my Okay, Kin Porsche. Oh, maybe Kin Porsche.
Maybe. I don't remember it well enough, I think.
Wait! No, I think it was, because didn't Vegas go after, like, Porsche specifically? Because he's like, oh, I'm going after your heart or something?
Oh, maybe. You might be right.
That sounds Vegas. Okay, there we go. Check
I barely remember it enough, though. So
I do too, but I'm like, I think that sounds right.
That sounds like something that could have happened.
No, it definitely is. It was in the finale. It was literally Vegas saying, "Oh, he had the gun, and, like, Kin's on the ground, and Porsche's too," and he's like, I'll shoot your heart first," and then aims at Porsche.
You're so right. You're so fucking right. He was in the parking garage. It was in the parking garage. Yes.
Yes, it's literally in the last episode. See, I remember.
You're so right. That just came to me as well. Okay. The second you mentioned that, like, Porsche's on the ground and he had a gun aimed and then, like, changed it, I was like, wait. I see it. I see the scene.
No, because it all come back to me. He literally says, where should I shoot you first? Your leg, your head, or maybe your heart? And aims at
your
Porsche.
heart! Holy shit, that's the scene! Oh my god.
Look, I love me my psycho characters. I know them
You
very
do.
well.
You do.
It took a second because it's been a couple years, but like...
Yeah, it has been a hot minute, so...
That came flooding back to me like nobody.
The second you said that line, I was like, oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, so... Then, Pun somehow takes the gun from Jet / Fratu and breaks out and aims a gun at him. And also, Kiara's there too, because he was a bird. And now he's back.
He was a bird. I feel like that should be like Kiara's motto. Kiara was there too, because he was a bird.
Yeah. Well, he can also control birds too, so it's very different.
Yeah. His best friends are birds. Birds are his thing.
Right.
Crows are his thing.
Yeah. So Fratu's like, go ahead, do it. Shoot me. And like he takes the gun, like aims it at his head, because he knows.
He knows he will.
Whether it's the father figure of Fratu or his brother / friend Jet, he knows he can't do it.
He knows he can't do it. Like, he's been training so long to be able to just kill vampires with no remorse. But I feel like now that Ramil has come into the picture and has kind of broken down some of those walls, I feel like that adds another layer of difficulty to it. Because he's like, Jet's my friend, you're the person that raised me, and also I don't want to kill things anymore. So like, this is hard.
But then Jet takes the gun and starts shooting. And we see that Kiara gets, like, nicked in the neck.
In the neck. I was like, is bro about to die right now? Right when I was like, welcome to the family? Like...
I know. I was like, oh, jeez.
I moved him up so high, and I was like, you're not about to take him away from me now that you've given him to me. Oh my god.
But then the others show up, and Popong and Elise check on Pun, while Methus and Meccan, or Meccan specifically, uses his healing power on Kiara. And Ramil's like, he went inside, I'm going after him, and Pun's like, I'm going with you, Jet's my friend.
Yeah. It's not just that, like, I don't want anything happen to you, but also this person was my family, and still kind of is my family. Like, I'm not I can't not come. Like...
Yeah. And then Methus says, stay here with Kiara, I'll go in too, and Elise follows him as well.
That moment, we were like, Methus is dead, Methus is dead, Methus is dead.
I thought, yeah.
We were so sure.
I'm glad well, here's the thing. He might be getting his own fucking spin-off. So, like, clearly he's not dying.
Clearly not dying, and honestly great, because, like, I don't even think, I'm pretty sure, did he even go into the, in with Ramil and Pun? I feel like he didn't.
No, it was only those two.
Yeah, it was only those two. I feel like he was going in there to, like, help, but they already went in.
No, I think he was just trying to fight off with Jet and stuff, or
Fair
Jet
enough.
and Fratu.
He was like, you guys go in, I'll fight from out here.
Yeah. So then Ramil and Pun enter, and we hear evil laughs from Jet / Fratu.
Yeah, like in the shadows of the darkness, just ha 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 ha.
Yeah. And Ramil warns him to stop causing trouble, and Jeff Fratu is like, what? Are you gonna spare me like you did last time?
Like, look how well that turned out.
Yeah. And he's like, go ahead, try using your powers to give me orders.
Oh,
and Ramil says he doesn't want to use his power on him.
Fair enough. Like, honestly, like, even though he can't, whether or not he knows that he can't or not, I'm pretty sure by now. Does he know by now that he can't?
Ramil doesn't. Ramil doesn't.
But I like the fact
Jet
that
knows. Jeff Fratu knows.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
I feel like it really says it again. It says a lot about Ramil's character that he doesn't even know yet that he can't use those powers, but he was like, still, I don't want to use them on you. Like I feel like last time that did not go well because now you're still here, and two, I want you conscious and I want us talking because, like, hey, there's maybe still a chance that I could at least get you to like listen. But
well, that's the thing. Ramil is such a good person where he doesn't want to kill anyone. He doesn't want to hurt anyone, especially his brother. Like, even though he did all this stuff, he's still like, you're my brother almost. And it's like, it's not until the very end when he realizes there is no other choice.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, again, yeah, exactly. It's his brother. Just like Jet is Pun's family and basically his brother. Like, it's, how do you, while they may not have been like super close, imagine like Pun having to kill Jet, or heaven forbid, having to kill Popong because he's been like, it couldn't happen. You can't do it.
Well, yeah, it's like, honestly, take it in real life. Like, would you be able to kill one of your siblings?
No. Like, that's like, it sounds like it's horrific. So like, the fact that he can't make that decision and can't like hurt him and has never been able to hurt him, has just been able to like banish him or make him sleep or what have you, makes sense. Because how could you?
Yeah.
And like some people could say like, well, yeah, he's his half brother. Maybe they didn't grow up together. I have 2 half brothers, and I spend every other weekend with them rather than every single day. I would not be able to harm a single hair on one of their heads. I would jump in front of a bullet. Like, that's your sibling. You don't. It. Oh God, this is so complex. This is so well written.
It's so like, again, this whole situation is really fucked up. If you really,
it's so fucked up, and every sentence in it makes sense. Like, there's no decision that it's like, why is he making that decision? It like makes sense for all these characters to be acting the way they are right now.
Oh, for sure. Jeff/Ratu is like, oh, why? I'm not the only Joe Noel heir. I'm not as smart as you. Very much like shows that this whole thing comes from like the younger sibling jealousy of the older one who gets everything and who's perfect, and the like he's almost like the outcast almost, which we get like a little backstory for Ratu from that, which is kind of interesting. But then Ramil starts punching him and fighting him, and when he gets him close enough, he tries to use his mind control, but it doesn't work. And Jeff/Ratu is like, and then he starts turning into like an evil, wicked laugh, and he's like, suck it.
I have seen shit like, where have I seen that? I feel like I've seen that in
classic
like.
Trope. That's a very classic psycho trope.
It is a very classic psycho trope. Oh, it's coming to me. I was like, where have I seen it recently? I watched someone react to the Power Rangers movie, the 2017 Power Rangers movie, which I saw a long time ago in theaters, and it's been on my rotation ever since. Like, I watch it when I'm sick, things like that. And I've never seen the show. I feel bad about it, but I've never seen the show. But this movie, I freaking love it. And there's a part where Rita, who's the villain, comes into Trini's room, who's the Yellow Ranger, and she's like fighting her in the middle of the night, and she like Trini has her like pinned against the cupboard, and she's like, oh no, you're so strong, and then she's like like she starts laughing after that, and I'm like, oh fuck. Like, it's just such a it's a very classic this villain is a psychopath like kind of moment. It really shows how gone they are, and I'm like, oh, that's like it shows you how smart they are and how crazy they are, which is a very dangerous combination.
So Jeff/Ratu pushes back, and then Ramil gets him on the ground and starts beating the shit out of him.
Oh, I was like, take it off! Take the fucking headband off, you dummy!
Well, Pun eventually pulls him off him with help from Methys and Elise, who come later.
Yeah.
And Elise tells us, she's like, look, Paul and Cass are telling me that the headpiece is what's stopping his mind control.
Yeah.
And then Jeff/Ratu's like, oh, you want to take this on my head? As he aims a gun to his head. And he's like, come and get it.
I also like that it makes sense that they didn't have time to relay that information, because while Elise was like injured, and she did say, while she said that there's something that he has that will stop Ramil from being able to use his powers, she may have very easily gotten unconscious right after that. And when Methys called, she could have still been unconscious, like she's resting now, but like Methys is healing her right now. But he wouldn't have known the headband is the thing. And so it makes sense that they weren't able to relay that information in time for like when they got there, because when they got there, another fight was in full swing. So like there was no time to go, wait, headband. Like there was no time for that. So honestly, makes sense, because in a lot of other shows, I feel like I'm like, for the love of God, why didn't you fucking tell him this earlier?
Yeah, the stress of the situation is like blocking out any rational thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
So then crows start coming in, and he starts shooting some of them.
Yeah. He's like, those are my friends. What the fuck?
Yeah, Kiara's like, if you shoot any more of my friends, even hell won't have a place for you.
Yeah, that's a good-ass threat. That's a very good-ass threat, because I feel like I see a lot of queer people going, like, when they're told you're going to hell, go like, ah, sick, we're all going to hell, let's go, guys. Like, it's gonna be all us down there. Party. Like, I feel like I see that a lot. So, the fact that this dead vampire is now like, not even hell's got a place for you. You're just gonna flip. Like, you're gonna be in a worse place at the very least. Like, I'm like, that's a good threat. That's a very good threat.
Yeah. So then each of the vampires try to take their turn. Methys, Kiar, they all try, but he pushes them off him. And Jeff Fratu's like, okay, fine. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. And shoots himself in the arm.
Oh my god. He's like, hey, I don't care. This isn't my body, technically. I could just hop to another one if I must.
Right.
Boom.
He also knows it hurts them as well. Like, he knows.
The whole thing is that, like, it's like, oh, I can't shoot you because you look like Jet right now and you're in Jet's body, and if I shoot Jet, Jet dies. He's like, okay, I'll just start killing Jet then before I go to someone else. Yeah. That's dangerous. that's a threat.
Yeah. But then Ramil manages to knock the headband off him. But then Jet picks it back up. And he's like, you can't hurt me. You'll never save him. This body will be mine forever. But Pun takes the gun and shoots a necklace.
Good shot.
All the vampires hold him down. And Ramil and Pun go enter his mind.
Very good shot. It reminds me of, like, I was wondering if there would be a moment like this, but there wasn't. It reminds me of, there's an episode of Castle, and actually the whole quote is an Easter egg for Firefly, which is a show that he was in, like, years ago, where he shoots him perfectly, like, but right between the eyes, kills him. It's like, all right, good shot. And Jane is sitting on the stairs, and he just goes, I was aiming for his head. Or no, I was aiming for his, like, or he shoots the gun out of his hand or something. And then he's like, I was aiming for his head. Like, after they say good shot. So it's like, I was wondering if something like that was gonna happen with Pun. Just like, hey, good shot. You knocked it right out.
Well, I think Pun was trying to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured after he did that, I was like, oh yeah, he wouldn't have gone for his head. But, like, it would have been really funny to hear, like, that quote come out of Pun. Just like, I actually wasn't aiming for that, but it worked out for the best.
Also, we would know Pun is a good shot because he's a hunter and he's been doing this for who knows how long.
That's the first thing I thought of when he did that. I was like, ooh, good shot. And then I went, of course it's a good shot. Like, he's been trained for this. He had an arsenal in his secret serial killer basement.
Right. So then, in the dream mind head thing, Ramil pulls Fratu off of young Jet, while Pun runs over to adult Jet, and then Fratu goes over to adult Jet and Pun and starts choking out Pun. So Ramil pulls him off him, chokes him out, and warns him, and he's like, stop it, as he takes his necklace. And he's like, go ahead, if I survive, I'll hunt that boy of yours down.
Like, okay, well, that's enough for me to know that you can't get out of this.
Yeah, and he says, there's no next time. And he takes the necklace, holds it to his heart as it starts to glow, and he disappears into a red mist.
He gets Thanos. Into the wind. Snapped out of existence. That was really cool. So I guess that necklace has some fucking power in it, bro.
I'm wondering if the necklace is the only way to kill for a vampire to kill a vampire.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is,
or maybe specifically a Joe Noel vampire, maybe, or like someone of that lineage who has that power.
Maybe, but also he's told Pun there is, like, this is how you can kill me. So,
well, no, a vampire to kill another. I don't think, maybe, like, I don't know if vampire, I don't know.
My thought.
Okay, what's your thought?
I have some sort of thought. I'm wondering if this is the only way to kill him in their mind. You're like, if he stabs him in his mind, like, he could maybe very well just, like, wake back up in his mind at some point. Who the fuck knows? But this, like, kind of evaporates the soul of the vampire at the very least. Because we've never seen him use the necklace like that outside of being in someone's mind or dreams or whatever.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that's a possibility, or there's some other possibility that maybe we'll learn in a season 2 or 3 or onwards. Because maybe the necklace has more lore to it and they're building on it.
Maybe.
There's a possibility there. Yeah. I don't know. I want to learn more about the necklace because it'll be mine and it'll be yours.
Well, true. But I also, if the next spoiler for ahead, if Methus ends up kind of leading the next show, he doesn't have a necklace.
Yeah, it's
only Ramil does.
Specifically. You're right. Okay, so it is the Joe Noel vampires who have necklaces specifically.
Yeah, maybe the necklace is more like an up to interpretation, like open-ended type thing, where it's like, oh, it has power. What the specific power is, who knows? But, like, I don't know. Or maybe they'll have Ramil and Pun come back from painting and be like, hey, here's a necklace, this is what we can do with it. And, like, who knows?
Could just be, like, another way to kill vampires, but, like...
Yeah.
Only the Joe Noels have that power because they have the necklaces, maybe.
Yeah, and they're, like, the royal family of the vampires.
Fair enough. And maybe that was, like, the way to, like, kill people. Like, you know how in the past there was like hangings and stuff like that. That was the way where people were executed or something. What if that was the way that vampires were executed in the past? Because like maybe the Jonah Wells were leading the court or whatever. And he'd be like, necklace, gotta send you into the afterworld. Like, this is like, you've done a bad thing, necklace. So maybe it's just a tradition thing that is coming back around because he's the last one left.
Yeah. So then in Jet's mind, in the past, he watches his younger self and younger Pun and Elise all praying together, talking about how they hope to be together forever and be a family forever, even if they get adopted in other places.
I love this so much. This scene, I think this is probably one of my favorite scenes and shots in the episode, because we were like, this could go either way. Like, he could be stuck in here because he has been stuck in the past this whole time. It's led him to make every decision he's ever made. And it's because of this moment with these three. He's been seeing these three in his mind the whole time. He's like, this is who I'm stuck as. And to move on from that moment and to be able to make decisions outside of all of this, he would need to let them go. And I was like, he could either be stuck here forever or he could wake up, but he has to let this memory go. And the fact that he decides to walk out the door and follow Pun and Elise's voice as older Pun and Elise, and looks back at the three of them, and they're standing there smiling at him like, it's okay, like, you avenged us, you did what you could for us, you can move on now, we're happy for you, kind of way. That got my heart a little bit. Like, I was like, oh, I'm emotional. Like, this is a really great allegory for like letting go of the past and moving forward.
Yeah, I see that. I also, maybe to add another layer to that, is I think the reason Jet like founded the Hunters was to protect Elise and Pun, but also so they could still be together. And I think this is him realizing him being a hunter is also what was pushing them away and drifting them apart. Because Pun left, Elise left, and he now realized that he himself, someone who was trying to keep them together because he was trying to do that, is what pushed them away and pushed them apart. And so when he hears their voice calling to him, he's very much like this is what I need to do. Yeah. So we can be together.
I agree. I feel like he's thinking in that moment, like, oh, like having this whole thing and fighting vampires and getting revenge, we don't need that to still stay a family. They'll stay family because they love me and I love them. Like, we'll be family no matter what. And that was, he was able to let go because of that. He was able to follow their voices because of that.
Right. So yeah, he does hear them calling for him, and he does walk towards the light, and he looks back at the three of the younger versions of themselves smiling, and he goes into the light to wake up, not dead.
To wake up, not dead. Yeah, when he walked through the door and it was like a bunch of light, I was like, okay, but we're waking up, right? Like, we're not walking into the light. Like, I was scared for a second.
Well, the next scene is Ramil talking with Methus, and he's like, make sure everyone's okay, and he's like, I will, master. And then Pun comes out, and he's like, Ramil's like, it's finally over. And Pun's like, I don't know how I would have made it through this. Thank you for being on my side. And Ramil says, thank you. We all survived because of you.
Yes. Right at this moment, I knew we were, finished with the stress and moving on to the, like, in quote-unquote, like, fluff or non-dangerous related stuff.
Honestly, almost the epilogue, I'd say. Like, I feel like it would be the epilogue. Like, this is, like,
exactly
the ending of, like, the big fight. The climax is over, now it's kind of like what happens after.
And that was, from what I saw, it was about, like, I think the fight and danger was about, like, 25 to 30 minutes of the episode, and the other half was the epilogue, you would say. And I was like, I think that's one of the moments where I was like, this is how you do a final episode. Because we had that action, we had that, oh gosh, what's going to happen? This is the penultimate, this is the ending, this is where everything comes together. And now we have the ending, where everyone gets their happy ending, but it doesn't take up the majority of time, or it doesn't take up too much time, where you're like, okay, can we be done with this? Like, it knows exactly how to pace itself. That's I think that's the big thing about the show for me. It knows how to pace itself.
Yeah, I agree. And then Panas is like, oh, will you be by my side forever? And Ramil's like, even if you run away, I'll look for you.
That's, I mean, like, in someone else's mouth, those words would sound so creepy, but, like, the fact that they love each other so much and, like, they've fought for this, it, like, is a promise, and it's, like, a bookend to everything. It's perfect. Because, like, imagine that coming out of fucking, like, Ferratu's mouth. Just, like, even if you go away, I'll still find you.
Well, that's kind of what he said earlier.
It is!
Yeah, because he's like, if you put me asleep again, I'll still come back and try to find your man and still kill him.
I'll come back! So, like, in anyone else's mouth, fucking creepy. But, like, because of what they went through and their backstory and what led them here, it's perfect.
Yeah. So then we cut to next day or future day or whatever. And Ramil has named Methys the leader of the vampires and the hotel.
Which was a shocker, but also, like, made sense.
It's like, looking back, it did make so much sense, and we just completely went over our heads, because we're like, oh, it's gonna be Ramil, obviously. He's not giving it to Ferratu, there's no one else.
Yeah, there's no one else!
But he does name Methys the leader of the vampires and head of the hotel.
Yeah.
And Methys says, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it so every vampire can do whatever the fuck they want.
Period.
And
honestly,
like,
thank you.
I made the right choice.
Yep. He knows he made the right choice in that moment. It was so interesting, because we were literally so, like, I feel like there was other, like, more pressing matters going on, and we were talking about it every once in a while, but it wasn't a heavy thing, because we were like, oh, people are, like, about to die, like, it was too stressful. But every once in a while, we were like, well, Ferratu definitely shouldn't be the leader, because he kills whenever he wants, and obviously Ramil isn't that kind of leader, and he doesn't want to be a leader. It's not something he was ever really focused on, so, and we would stop there. We never went any further than to go, well, then who should be? We never questioned after that. We were just like, he doesn't want it, he shouldn't have it. That's it. We never guessed, oh, you know what, who should have it? And I feel like Methys would have been the answer if we did question it.
Yeah, I feel like we looked more into that, we probably would have come to that conclusion, but I feel like the most part was like, we're like, oh, well, we know he's the last Joe Noel vampire.
Yeah, we were like, is he gonna die out?
Like, he has to do it, like, there's no one else who can do it. But then,
I guess he can, like, bequeath the leadership to someone else, which is, like, great. I mean, I wonder how the vampire lore works. Like, the lineage of the Joe Noel line, I wonder, he said he was, like, we deduced kind of the way he mentions it, that he was born a vampire, Ramil, like, kind of. Yeah. I was thinking, like, creepy Twilight baby vibes, like he just stopped aging at one point. But I wonder if, like, that's not the only way to be, like, in the lineage, or at least the leadership version of the lineage. Like, maybe it can be passed on, or it has to be someone you turned, or something like that.
That would be an interesting plot for a second season or spin-off or whatever. Is that maybe there's another, maybe not Joe Noel vampire, but another pure blood vampire line, and another vampire from, because we saw the Book of the Tree, and they were all, like, separately, branched off in their own way, unless maybe the hunters didn't really kill all of them. Maybe there's another, like, third sibling who's out there who's like, actually, I should be leader, because I'm the blood. And
maybe, like, the necklace has to have something to do with it, because Pun has them all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it becomes, like, whole, like, vampire, like, trial case of, like, who gets to be leader.
Maybe. I'm curious, because, like, in Vampire Diaries, going back to that lore, when it comes to, like lineage, I think the most they really talked about it was in terms of who turned who. Like, if you killed an original vampire, everyone who was turned from them and from them and from them, like, down the line, would then die. That was, like, the whole thing. So they were connected by who you turned, I guess, and then who turned from then on. But, so I was thinking, hey, it could have something to do with that, but also, like, he was born a vampire, so, like, there could be many ways to go with this, honestly. I'm curious to see what happens in season 2.
I don't know, I guess we'll see, maybe. Who knows? So then, the three former hunters, Pun, Elise, and Jet, are wondering what they're going to do now that they're no longer hunters. And Elise is like, oh, well, we know you're going to be staying with the vampires. And he's like, here, you can have this one. Gives her the little, like, keychain doll.
Keychain doll.
And then Jet kind of chimed in, he's like, well, the hunters were just a group we imagined.
Yeah.
And without that, we're just kind of like normal humans again. With dreams, goals.
They have to figure out who they are as people outside of this. Because I feel like their entire, like, personality, their entire, like, being, who they are, was based off of what happened that night. because they were so focused on hunting and getting revenge and making sure this didn't happen to anyone else. I feel like they haven't had time to figure out who they are outside of it. So now they have that chance. So it would be very interesting to see in season 2 if we got to see. I feel like we won't maybe get to see it that much, but it'd be really great if we got to see them kind of like trying new things and maybe seeing where they fit in their love life, in their personal life, in work, what they want to do as, like, I mean, we already know Jet's gonna train to be a father, just to see where everyone goes in life and figures out what they want from life outside of this.
So we do find out that Jet, in the scene, Jet's gonna practice to be a father. We see Kiar back with his cult, but maybe he's helping people more than just,
I'm deducing that from the look on his face. I feel like before when he was doing it, it was kind of a cocky, like half smile, like sinister a little bit, like look. But with this, he seems to actually like be serious about it. So I'm wondering if this is like a happy cult now, rather than like a really bad cult.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a community and not a cult.
Maybe. Who knows? They just wear matching like black hoods.
yeah, normal community stuff.
And then Mekin is still a doctor looking at a patient. And then he goes buy some grape snacks from Pong, who then he goes help him with his homework and study.
I thought I was getting a question right, and it turns out it was a double equation question. I was like, whoop, never mind, I've lost the plot.
I was like, I don't understand any of this, so I did not even try.
I was good at algebra in school. I really loved algebra, and I still like algebra. Whenever questions pop up, I'm like, oh, I remember this equals that. Which pisses me off, because I was taught algebra, I really liked algebra, and then it turns out I don't need algebra whatsoever in the real world. So I was like, why would you do that? I don't understand money or percentages or anything, and that's what I actually need. But so I was like there for the first half of the question, and then I think it maybe turned into calculus. I don't remember what it was, and I was okay in my pre-calc class, but it wasn't like the best. So like I was like, oh, never mind, I've lost it.
Yeah. And then we see Elise still at the art gallery, showing off this month's gallery of the full moons.
She probably owns it now, actually, now that Jet is probably like moved on to train to be a father.
But it's funny because these moon pictures were in an earlier episode.
Were they?
Yes, and I remember I came back and my mother was like, oh, she's still doing that. And then we find out it foreshadows something at the end, which I'm like, I
didn't even clock the moon until you told me. You were like, because I was like, ooh, different color eyes, and you were like, also moon. I was like, oh, moon.
Yes.
that sealed the deal for me on that. It was probably a werewolf.
Yeah, we'll get there at the end, which is
we'll get there.
Then Paul Castor, the guy who runs the bar now, and just is like, yeah, let's all drink.
I think it's Castor. That's my guess.
Castor, okay, Castor, the one doing that, and Paul has some anti-aging industry stuff, which is called a vampire serum, and named it after, all the vampires.
Yeah, it's called like Pun's
Crow,
boyfriend.
Doctor, and Pun's boyfriend.
Crow, Doctor, and Pun's boyfriend. I love how it's just it's not even like leader, or it's not like anything that Ramil was. It's just like Pun's boyfriend.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows Pun longer, so he was probably like, yeah, no, it's just Pun's boyfriend.
Fair enough. He's like, yeah, you're all these things, whatever. Pun's boyfriend. You're Pun's boyfriend to me. Like,
yeah.
I like that, because I was like, even the two characters that we did not get that much from in terms of like redemption or like personality outside of the hunters or anything like that, we still got endings that made sense for them. Like Castor stuck with the pub and feels like a chaotic person. It kind of works for him. And his brother Paul was like very much the inventor, the person who was creating the weapons and figuring out ways to defeat the vampires. And so now he's inventing as a job and is moving on with his life that way. And I'm like, this makes sense for everybody.
It really does.
It feels like they thought of everything.
They did, and that's why this show is so great, is that they knew all the characters, all the story, and where it would all end up. And they really wrapped everything up really nicely in the end.
I'm going to mention later, I feel like there's one thing that I feel like maybe slipped through the cracks a little bit at the end, but I will get more into it later because we get more of it later. But I feel like now that we know there's probably going to be a season 2, I feel like the fact that the story doesn't like 100% end is a positive. Like it could very well just continue on, and we could change things. But I do have something to mention.
Anyway, in the rose garden, Ramel and Pun are there, and Pun's like, "Who's gonna take care of the roses when we're gone?" And he's like, "Don't worry, Meths will take care of it. He won't let them wilt." And Pun says, like, everyone says roses are hard to take care of,
but they're worth it.
Well, it's reference to what Ramel told Pun earlier.
Yep.
In a couple episodes ago, and obviously the rose being Pun, pretty much. Yeah, I love how the rose and stuff all connects.
It all connected. He was like, because originally he was like, our first like real thing with the roses was when he said, "You smell like roses," and since then we've seen like roses throughout this entire thing. Ramil like bringing them back to life and healing them, and always having a vase of roses next to his bed, and it was all a metaphor for Pun and how he was like always going to take care of Pun, how he was always by his side because at least if he wasn't there, he had the roses that smelled like him. And it just perfectly, and even like the whole thing of like roses are hard to take care of, aren't they, showed like the whole thing of it being like a bit rocky at the start because Pun was aligned with a different group that wanted to kill him, and he's like, yeah, but they're worth it. And the fact that they're here after starting here really like matches that metaphor so well. And it's like these roses were like perfectly put in the story, bro.
It was really good. And then he's even like, well, nothing's hard if you try.
Yeah.
And this is where Pun's like, you should be a life coach.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I don't know what that is, but okay. And then he ends up referring to himself as the Rose's daddy.
Oh my, yeah, literally, I was like, the second he said it, I was like, did he say what I think he said? And then the subtitles finally caught up, and I was like, oh my god, dude, he said it, dude, he said the thing. Two reactions in a row where we have both filmed. We had the daddy couch come back in one of them, and the next one we've had him saying, what is our luck?
Well, and again, the roses are a symbol of Pun.
Yeah.
So if he is the Rose's daddy, then...
Yeah, I know, I see the metaphor, I know, I see it.
Okay.
Oh god.
And then Ramel's like, humans love using weird words.
Fair enough. You know what? I love him so much. He's like, weird, alright, if you think so, whatever.
Like, sure. So Pun continues to spray the flower, and Ramel's like, hey, your mommy's spraying you or feeding you or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, no, Papa.
Yeah. And he corrects him, and he's like, actually it's Papa.
Fair enough, because again, this is I feel like this is also showing how far Thai BLs have come, because originally it was like husband and wife. Remember, it would always be a husband and wife thing, and I feel like Bad Buddy was one of the first to be like, I remember the scene in the hospital room where he's like, no, I'm not your wife. Like,
in the hospital? Oh.
Yeah, it was after Pat got like shot, kind of, or grazed by that one guy, and they were in the hospital after, and he was like, oh, this is my wife. He's like, I'm not your wife, fuck off, I'm your husband. Like, and...
Oh, I was thinking of the scene where like the two couples having dinner, and Pat's like, oh, what, do you think I only like guys because I like you or whatever, and kind of like broke that trope instead. I was thinking of that one. Okay.
I like that it broke both of those. Fair play.
Yeah.
I feel like this is another instance of kind of solidifying that, of him being like, no, not mama. Okay. I'm Papa, you are daddy.
Yes, but also it makes sense because Ramil wouldn't know. And so his thing is like, oh, daddy, mommy. So he's like, okay, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
And then Papa's like, no, it's Papa. And he's like, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. and he's like, all right, Papa. And they spray the flowers.
They're so cute.
So good. And then in the living room, Ramil's reminding Methis how to take care of the roses. And this is where they're all learning that Ramil and Pun are leaving. And Popon's like a bit sad about that. And he's like, we already talked about this. And he's like, yeah, but you're moving away. How am I supposed to feel? Popon even says, like, look, if it was somewhere I could follow you, I wouldn't be complaining. Like, what if you forget me? And he's like, no, you're my brother. I wouldn't forget you. And yes, he's like, oh, will you really stay the same age there? And he's like, yeah, time doesn't work there.
I feel like it's a plus that he could come back at any time, and barely any time will have passed, if any.
Right.
But I will say, this is the thing I feel like slipped through the cracks. I feel like through most of the show, he was like, I'm doing everything to protect Popong. I do want him to come back and live with me. I want it to be safe for him to come and live with me. And I don't want him involved in anything, It was all to make sure his brother was safe and happy and with him. eventually. And I feel like now he's just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go live in the forest with it.
Right.
But I feel like the fact, what aids that is the fact that he can come back at any point and see him.
I'm pretty sure he says like, oh yeah, like I can come back and visit you.
Yeah.
And like we can visit each other, so.
I feel like that aids that, which is good. And the fact that I'm trying to take into account the fact that Popong is also like, he's just turned 18, he's going to college. He would have moved out and moved on if this were any regular scenario as well.
Right.
He would have been going to school and focusing on that. He'll be focusing on studies, so maybe he won't even have time to be like, oh my god, where's my brother? Like, I feel like he'll be quite busy, and Mekin will also be there to be like, kind of like the person he talks to and gets advice from, because he has been that person recently. And I feel like throughout the show, we've kind of established that growing up and growing apart a little bit, but I still feel like there was such an emphasis on like, I'm doing everything for my brother, and I feel like we didn't get like a final scene or just like something that emphasized like, I did this like for you and I'm glad that you're safe, or I'm glad that we were able to reconnect, because all I ever wanted was to make sure like I could get back to you, kind of thing. Just one scene would have been good for me, but the fact that we do have season 2 coming is good. I feel like we could still build.
I see that. But also I'll look at it from a different angle. I think Pun's whole thing was making sure that Pong was with people who cared about him, because it's this one throwaway line in the last episode when he's in the mine praying. He's like, "Oh, it's Pong's birthday. I'm praying for his birthday. I'm worried that his foster family won't remember, and his foster family won't, celebrate that." And I think so. Maybe it was Pun wanting him to be with him because he knows he would care and love him, and he would take care of him.
Yeah.
But I think now where Popong is, he has Mekin, he has Methus and Kiara, and he has this whole little vampire family who he knows will love him and will take care of him, and they will be his family.
Yeah.
And he knows they'll celebrate his birthday. They'll know they'll care about him and love him. I would also like to look at it from that, where maybe it wasn't that Pun wanted Popong to be with him, he just wanted Popong to be with people who loved and cared about him, like he does. And he knows these vampires will do that.
I see that, definitely. And actually, the fact that you said that really helps, because him in the last episode being like, I hope his foster family actually remembers his birthday. That's all I want, for someone to remember his birthday. And we saw like only a couple episodes before that, when he thought Pun forgot his birthday, Mekin definitely didn't. He went out to see Mekin like after the fact, and he had a whole cake ready for him when they'd only known each other for a small amount of time. So I feel like in the last episode, when we got him saying, I hope someone remembers his birthday, or he's with someone that will remember his birthday, in our minds, that connects the two and makes us go, he is with someone who will remember his birthday. And he's still going to be with someone who remembers his birthday from now on. So that does actually help a bit. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean from that.
Yeah. So then Ramil and Pun are looking at the painting, and they're like, we'll be together forever.
The painting.
And they go into the painting.
I was fucking right for one of these. I was like, what if they live in a painting?
Yes, they end up living in a painting. They have their old cottage.
It felt like the only thing that like made sense that wasn't turning Pun.
Right. Well, I'm so used to vampires, that being the only way they can be together is turning the human into a vampire. That's like the only way, or they break up and part ways.
Yeah.
Or watch him grow old and die. Like, it's like no other option is really good and positive.
Yeah.
But once this was introduced, I was like, oh, that could be the case. Maybe.
Once this was introduced, and they were like, and Lilith was like, oh, time doesn't exist here, time doesn't pass here, whatever. I was like, oh, say again? I see a plot coming forward. I was like, please let this be the thing. Like, what if? And then the what if became real. And for once, I'm right.
So the end credit scene, we see the two of them in bed, in a tiny, like, twin bed. Like, they could get a bigger bed.
You can literally pop back to the real world and get, like, one of those fancy-ass mattresses. Like, I'm sure...
Would the mattress people go with them?
How would they get it into the painting is a very good question. Honestly, wait, they could get it into the painting, because some of those mattresses come in, like, rolled up in, like, boxes, Or they could at least bring it in pieces. Like, not the mattress, but, like, the bed frame. And then they could get, like, a bigger, like, mattress that they could, like, fold in half and bring in. And then they could get the mattress topper, which can be rolled up in a box that could totally fit in them.
Anyway, they're in bed together. And Pun's like, oh, I can't believe this is real. And Ramil's like, for as long as I live, you're the only one who gets to be my forever.
Which is fucking beautiful. When it changed to this shot, half of my mind was like, the dream, and I was like, oh, but it's a different lighting, and it's not the same bed, and but I was like, it would have been really interesting if that was like the dream from the future.
Well, that I think was just a dream.
Yeah, I think that was just a dream. But like, what would I you know what would have been cool is if like it did show this moment, and then like middle of kissing, and then stopping and being like, oh my god, and like this is the dream, and even Ramil being like, oh, cool, it was from my future too. Like neither of them would have even suspected that it would have happened in the future, but it ended up happening. Like, and even Ramil not realizing it, that would have been cool.
Right. So then they sit up in bed, and Ramil takes off his necklace. And he's like, do you know what this necklace means? And Pun says, I know it's as important as life. And he puts it on Pun, and he's like, there's nothing more important than you are.
Oh. He's like, even this necklace isn't as important.
Yeah, I think the necklace is like literally an engagement ring, but a necklace.
Yeah, absolutely. Being like, I'm spending forever with you. And I know we went into this painting so we could like spend forever with each other. And we've said it. But like, this necklace is life for me. Like, whatever the heck it means, because we're not entirely sure still. But this necklace has followed him his entire life. So he's like, now I'm putting it on you because you are my life. And we've already talked about being together forever, but this is like confirmation. And so it's definitely an engagement ring.
It's literally an engagement ring, but a necklace instead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to get it.
I am too. Oh,
I'm gonna wear that shit to work, and I want to see if anybody I ring up notices it. Please, please.
I doubt they will.
I 100% doubt they will. I live in a very tiny ass town, but like, wouldn't that be fucking amazing? Like, because I brought my or I went next door, from work to Home Goods, like at the end of my shift. And I was buying a giant ass whale. This giant ass whale. This giant ass whale. It's a dog toy. I don't know what kind of dog would play with that, but a big one. And I went to ring it up, and I put my Stanley that I had with me from work on the counter, and she was like, is that? Oh no, that's not one of ours, because it had stickers all over it. It had 911 stickers, it had a Buckley like topper. It was very 911. And she was like, oh, no, that's not ours. And she went, oh, Buckley, nice. And I was like, hey. So, like, you never know. Like, even though, like, 911 is definitely more watched here than I would say the average BL.
I was going to say, yeah, 911 definitely has some, like...
But also, I feel like I never meet anyone in real life, aside from, like, one person at work. I think the one person at work is the only person I've met in real life outside of the computer is what I mean. That watched 911. So like it kind of opens up the doors of like, oh, this is a thing that people do. People have hobbies. People have watches that they like. So I always go about it now as like, you never fucking know. You never know.
I mean, fair.
There's got to be one person here that watches BLs. I always say that about everything. There's got to be one person somewhere that does this.
Maybe. Anyway, then as the light as the light fades, we think it's the end, but it's not.
It's not!
We see Methus standing in front of a full moon painting on the phone saying, I've received it. Thank you. And Elise, I believe, is on the other line, who's like, well, the owner of the painting. And then someone's like, oh, it's a beautiful painting. And I knew who it was before when I heard the voice. I'm like, wait a minute.
You did. Where else have I seen him? Because I've seen him.
Well, those Junior and Mark are partners.
Yes.
They're like
I know that, but I feel like I've seen him in something else.
Well, they were in one of the trailers we watched. They were the My Romance Scammer, which I think has started filming. And then I believe they were also in, the 10-liner one that I haven't seen.
I don't think I have seen him in something. Maybe I thought he was someone else. He looks like, I can't tell who he looks like. He looks like someone, and I can't remember who he looks like. I don't know. Something looks similar to another actor, and I can't remember for the life of me who it is.
Now, this is my first time seeing him in a show. I haven't seen him in the show before.
Apparently, I haven't either. But I swear to fuck, I've seen someone like that he reminds me of, and I don't know who it is. I don't think I'll ever get it, because I don't think it was someone in a main part. It was, yeah, no, it's not going to come to me, but if it ever does come to me, I'll let you know. I'll be like, it made me think of this person. But like when I saw him, my first thought was like, Ariana, what are you doing here? Because like I've seen I feel like I'd seen him before, so.
And you hadn't, which is kind of awkward.
That's okay, honestly, because, like, I figured he was someone, so.
Yeah.
Because you said he was someone.
Yeah, he's like, oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Methos. And he holds out his hand for a handshake.
And his
Methos
eyes.
takes the hand. Well, not yet. He takes the handshake. You know, he does a handshake. And we see that Junior, who we'll call him for now, eyes glow blue. As Methos's eyes glow red.
Oh, and we can make purple?
Maybe. Well, that would just be them putting their eyes together. That would be weird. That'd be like.
I tried. I fucking tried.
God.
Every time I try to make a euphemism, you're like, I'm not sure about that one.
Well, because that's like their eyes. It's not like their skin glows that color. Like, then that would be a different. Then you can make purple. But like, I'm like, with your eyes, that's will just like intensely stare at each other.
Wait. Does he look like the guy from Tonhon Lati? Maybe not.
He kind of does.
A little bit. Maybe I was thinking of him. I was thinking of like a mix between him and the guy who played Gunpa and is in like fucking everything. Like the one. Yeah, that guy. So I feel like I was thinking of like a mix between the two of them, and so my brain was like, you know this person, and I was like, ah!
Yeah. Anyway, MVP for the finale.
Oh my god, how do you fucking pick? It was so good.
Oh my god, I'm like actually like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like at a loss here.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Jet.
Ramil.
Oh.
Jet was one I was torn between Ramil, Jet, and Pun, and I went with Ramil because he's the one who actually killed Fratu.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's the one who actually finished him off and defeated the big bad villain. He was the one who sent him away, poofed him into red smoke or dust or whatever.
Yep.
He's the one who actually did that, despite trying everything in his power not to. He did not want to kill a human, a vampire, any living thing. He did not want to hurt in any way, shape, or form. And the fact that he realized there was no other choice, and he didn't hesitate. He wasn't like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? I don't know if I can. He just did it because he knew it's what he had to do. And I really respect him for that. Jet was like my close second, honestly, but go ahead, talk about Jet.
Fair enough. I fully agree with you, Othermill. But the fact, I think that one scene sealed it for me. The fact that we saw Jet, like, kind of in the middle of staying stuck in the past or holding on to the past pain at least, and moving forward and letting his past self go was such an interesting, like, scene to look at, like, and to pick apart. And him eventually leaving and looking back at his old self and kind of saying goodbye in a way before moving forward was really great. And I think also what sealed it for me was the fact that he is studying to become a brother, a father, whatever, because he kind of he holds on to that little bit of the past just enough to know, I don't want something like this to happen to kids in the orphanage like it happened to me, whether or not we see another vampire do this or not. Like, I want to protect kids and make sure that whatever happened to me doesn't even come close to happening to someone else. And I really admire that. He's holding on to it for the right reasons now and still moving forward in a healthy way. And I which is crazy because, like, for the last fucking, like, 8 episodes, he's been, like, bottom of the tier for me. And now he's, like, my MVP.
You were saying he was, like, the psycho villain this whole time, and I'm like, actually, I think he's just, like, tortured. Like,
he was very tortured. I feel like
and you're like, no, he's insane. He's evil. I'm like, I don't know.
Maybe I wasn't going so far when you're like, I wasn't being like, I was saying shit, but, like, it wasn't right after you being like, I think he's tortured. It was like, no, he's evil.
No,
like, I wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't going that crazy with it, but, like, I was like, he is pissing me off, like, genuinely, and I feel like he's refusing to move forward, which it is hard to do. And in the last episode, I did acknowledge, I was like, he seems like, once he's presented with it, he looks like he does want to move forward. And just that little, like, glimpse that we saw of that moved him higher up the tier list than he's ever been for me. So, the fact that we saw in this episode, it was like the perfect, complete, like, it was the completion of his character arc, like perfectly completed. And I think, yeah, we saw him, like, go from an unhealthy way of holding on to the past to a healthy way of remembering the past instead, and using the past as kind of like a starting point on how to move forward, was just really awesome to see. And I'm just like, the fact I've gone from like bottom of the tier list to MVP for a good reason and not for like a bad reason, like, is crazy. It's really good character development.
Yeah, I think it's great. I agree. Anyway, that wraps us up with Revamp.
Yes, we're going to tell you guys our final tier lists next week during the after show. We're going to have a week to think on where we want everyone to sit on the tier list, and we'll let you guys know then.
I already wrote mine. Mine's already set. Yeah, mine's already set.
I change opinions. Like it takes a couple of days for opinions to form in my brain. Like, my initial reaction is sometimes not usually my overall reaction, because I'll read reviews, I'll watch TikToks, I'll rewatch the episodes, I'll edit it while I'm rewatching it, and I'll like see everything again, and it takes a second for my opinion to just like complete itself. I still think this is going to be one of the best BLs I've ever seen, no matter what my opinion is later. I don't think it's going to change that much, but depending on like which character I like the most and where I rank everyone, it might change. So I don't know. I'm going to take the week and see what I feel like putting them at. I'll change them every day, maybe. I'll be like, actually, wait this, wait that. So
yeah, okay.
We'll see.
So yeah, join us next week for our after show party, where we will be ranking all the characters, our final set tier list of how we feel about the characters.
Yep.
If you have any questions for us, you can send them in at _BPodcast_, both on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
Quizzes. We'll do quizzes.
Yes. We're gonna try and make quizzes. I feel like I feel kind of excited to make one. So hopefully I do that, and I don't leave it to the last second. I'm going to try and plan it out to where I actually set time for myself to make a quiz.
Yeah, I'll also try to do that too. Make a quiz. And then we will play Ship It or Rip It.
Yes.
As well. And we'll see what's next for the podcast. Because we're like,
yes, because the is correct. Because like we have to. Because when is Only Friends, for one? Like, the fact that they're, like,
we're still waiting. That's the thing, we're still waiting on it.
They're nearing the end of pretty much everything, if not being done already. And there's no release date in sight, so I have zero clue when that's coming.
But next week will be our after show. And then we can go from there. If Only Friends trailer comes out, we'll talk more about that. Or
yes.
Yeah, blah, blah, whatever. But yeah, I'd be down for just waiting for Only Friends to come out, because I feel like there's no point in starting a show if it comes out, and then we're like...
And then, like, a week later, Only Friends comes out.
Yeah,
then we have to wait, like, a whole, like, 14 fucking episodes to watch it, which would be crazy.
Yeah, so...
It's our big thing. And I want to do the sex board. The fuck board.
We will, when it comes out.
I know, I want to do the fuck board. So, like, I want to do the fuck board.
I don't know why you're so sad about that. We will.
No, I'm not, but I'm saying, like, if we were watching something else and then suddenly Only Friend comes out a week later and we have to wait, like, weeks to do it, I'm like, no, but I want to do the fuck board. Like,
well, that's why we're not doing that. We're waiting for Only Friends. Like,
alright, we're waiting for Only Friends.
Our next show is gonna be Only Friends. We just don't know when it's coming out.
No clue what's happening.
That's our moral.
If we gotta do series recaps for, like, the next 4 weeks, we will fucking do it.
Yeah, we'll find other things to talk about. It's fine.
It's fine.
But yes, join us next week for our after show party for Revamp The Undead Story. And yes, that will be next week, and we will see you all then for that.
Yes, we will.
So we will see you all then.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.